Okay, everyone, we're going to go ahead and learn about something called cross sections, okay? And the idea here is we're going to basically be taking three-dimensional figures that we've been learning about, and we're going to be slicing them or intersecting a plane through them, so like a flat surface, right through them. It's basically chopping them in half. All right, think about like Fruit Ninja, right? We're gonna, if you've played that game before in the past, we have these 3D solid objects and we're slicing them. So in this case, we take this, melon and we're slicing it. We're kind of exposing a circular 2D face, all right, two-dimensional face. We're trying to look at the face that is exposed basically when we slice through it. Another example we can kind of think about is when we're trying to find the surface area of this shape, we would not be using this inside because it's on the inside of the shape, but we're going to slice through it, and then it's kind of like we're going to be exposing that, it's going to be making a new outer face of our shape. We're not going to calculate new volume on that or anything like that, or surface area. We're just going to be talking about the faces that get exposed. So let's go ahead and take a look. Actually, let's look at this first one on the demo. It was a rectangular prism, and we sliced through, kind of parallel to the base. Okay, so we just basically, horizontally cut it, and the exposed shape we end up getting is a rectangle, right? That should make sense, as it's a rectangular prism. It's a rectangular going through the whole entire base, so when you chop it through the middle, it's just going to be a rectangle that's exposed. All right, let's take a look at this one. So we have a cone here, all right? When we have a cone, and we didn't do volume or surface area on any cones, but we can still visually look at what we're doing. So if we just took a paper or a plane and sliced through the middle of it right here, or kind of like the top, and we're doing that parallel to the base, what we should get is we should get a circle. Because right now, if we took a cone, we'll actually take a look at one more closely in a moment, but it's a circle that works its way all the way up. Just basically wherever you cut it, it's gonna be a different size of circle. So right here, we have a nice little small circle when we cut it. Now, if we were to cut it at an angle, however, like this one, we're gonna see we get an oval. So it would be a circle if we cut all the way through. Like if we did it from here to here, it would have gotten us a circle. But when we do it on an angle, what it's doing is it's essentially elongating that outer portion or the sides and is making it into an oval. If we were to chop it vertically, we end up getting a triangle, which is a little bit interesting. Let's go ahead. We're going to click this link down below. This is going to be in your Google Classroom as well. Take a look. Let's pull it up. All right, here we go. So what we have here is a cone. Now, actually, let me just show you what you're going to be opening up to when you see your link. You're going to get something that looks like, where is it? Sorry, one second. Oh, I don't know. Okay, I'll get it for you in a little bit. But well, anyway, when you're over here, it has all the different things that you can choose from over here. So you can see the different figures that you can try chopping up. But for right now, we're gonna take a look at a cone. All right, so as you can kind of see, you can kind of move around like this. You can see that, we would get a circle if we were chopping horizontally. We can raise up and down, and you're seeing that we're getting a circle regardless. If you need to see that more straight on, you can see the face, it's a circle. Even though when you're viewing it from the side, it almost looks like an oval. If we were to tilt that, let's see, yep, there we go. You can start to see the oval that's forming, right? It's not a perfect circle. Let's flatten that back out. All right, now let's see if we were to go ahead and move this. Oh, that's not the way I want to do it. Oh, I just have to go all the way. So if I keep on rotating this, you'll see you don't have to really worry about this one. This we actually get a shape called a parabola if we don't go all the way. But let's go ahead and chop it so it's exactly vertical, right? We chop right through that cone, and you can see the face that we get is actually a triangle, that two-dimensional face. So again, if we do it perpendicular, so straight up and down, we get a triangle. If we do it completely horizontal, we get a circle, and we do it at a bit of a tilt, we get that oval shape, okay? So you'll get a chance to play with these in a bit. Let's go ahead to our next one. Right here, okay, we have a pyramid. So I'm gonna go ahead and actually what I want you to do is I want you to go ahead and open up this link on Google Classroom. You can pause the video. And I want you to go ahead to let's go to a rectangular pyramid, just like the shape is. And I want you to go ahead and give this one a try. Play around with it. See what different faces that you can form, okay? And then I'm gonna reveal some of the ones below. So again, you can pause that video. And here we go. All right, let's check it out. So we can raise the height up. That's not changing too much, just the size of the rectangle we're getting. So we do a horizontal cut, we're getting a rectangle. If we were to rotate this, let's go completely vertical. All right, what shape are we getting? Oh, interesting. Okay, so if let me see if I can move this like this. Yeah, here we go. All right, so right now you can see if we chop through the side like this, we end up getting actually a trapezoid. And then if we, oops, that's not what I want to do. Let's go ahead and move it from left to right. I want to get right through that center. Let's see if I did it. Cool, yeah. So we end up getting a triangle. Okay, so we go right through the corner. And then, let's rotate it again. Let's do a bit of an angle. Okay, this one is, it's going to be a hexagon as well. I'll make it more obvious actually by rotating it and then bringing the height up. So again, you can see that. Oh, I think it's a hexagon. I meant to say trapezoid. You can see we have a trapezoid here. Let's go ahead and bring it down a little bit. And same thing if we do this, we get another hexagon. All right. So yeah, there's kind of the different shapes that we see. I'm going to minimize this so you can just see the different ones that I'm bringing up. So yeah, right through. So we're going to be talking a lot more about just directly vertical and directly horizontal ones, as opposed to doing all that twisting that I was showing. But here you can see, yep, if we just have a vertical, we're making a triangle. Here, if we do it horizontally, we get ourselves a rectangle. And then if we kind of had it still vertical, but off to the side, we end up getting a hexagon. So what you're going to do now is in that little, it's not really a packet, it's just that one page that you're giving up notes. I want you to go through these different shapes. Okay, there's 2 pages of it. And I want you to try to describe the intersection that you're seeing when we intersect it with a plane through this solid. All right, I would say go ahead, pause the video. All right, our different shapes that we're going to get. Here we're going to have a triangle. All right, you can see that right here. Here, this is the one we did a second ago. It's a, nope, sorry, I'm saying hexagon. It is a trapezoid. It's this shape right here, just better drawn. Right here, when we do a cylinder, it's showing a rectangle. Right here, it's showing a circle, as this appears to be perfectly horizontal, not tilted. Right here, this one is a square. It could be a rectangle. I'm going to say that this is probably a square pyramid, so it kind of depends. If this is a rectangular pyramid, that base is rectangle, then it would be a rectangle. I'm thinking this is a square. It would have to tell you. I would say this is a square. This, when we chop off a corner, okay, notice that there's 1, 2, 3 points coming here. So whenever we chop off a corner, this is going to end up being a triangle. This one, again, if that's perfectly horizontal, this is going to be a circle. If it was any sort of tilt, it would be an oval. And then this one right here, this is straight up and down. This is getting us a triangle, all right, for this cone. Triangle. All right, so the last thing we're going to do, and in a moment, you're going to go ahead and play around with these different interactives that I was showing here. So that way you can do some of the textbook work, but you can kind of try playing around with it. But one thing I want to try is what are the different 2D faces you can expose by slicing a cube. So we're going to pull up a cube. Oops, I definitely have the wrong links going, but you'll have the right ones on Google Classroom. Let me pull up my cube one. Here it is. All right, here we go. So if we were given a cube like this, okay, and you're going to kind of play around with this. So here we have it going directly through the middle. Okay, so this right here gets us a square. And you can see the face that it's showing right here on the right. It's just kind of displaying what you have. Let me maximize this. All right, so let me get this back down. All right, so if we just were to shift this up and down, it's not doing much. It's still going to be a square that we get through this cube. But let's go ahead and do some tilting, right? If we were to tilt this, notice that we are now getting ourselves a rectangle, right? Because the distance from here to here is still the same, but now this distance is raising, right? So this is getting us a rectangle. It might still look like a square, but you can kind of see it change size as I do this. If we go up and down, still a square because it's a cube. All right, so let's try to do some that are a little bit different. Right now, we talked about cutting a corner off on a previous one. So we have 1, 2, 3 lines intersecting right here. So I'm thinking if we were to chop that, we'd get a triangle. Let's see if I can make this happen. We're gonna have to turn and tilt. shift it up. Let's turn it. Okay, there you go. So let's see if I even get this straighter, but it doesn't really matter. You can see we're getting a triangle. There we go. Cool. All right, let's see what we're doing here, right? So see that we're chopping the corner off of this cube, and we end up getting a triangle, right? There's three different points that intersect, three different lines that intersect here at this vertex. So when we chop it, we're getting a triangle. Let's see what happens if I kind of shift it down a little bit. You're going to see that as we go and make this corner so big, we get to the other corners, we get different shapes. So right here, let me tilt it a little bit. There we go. Notice here we have a trapezoid, four-sided shape. If I were to get some more in here, okay, there we go. Take a look at what shape we're getting here now. Here we're getting, you can look on the right side, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Here we have a hexagon. I'm gonna tell you, this is actually the max shape that you can get, the max number of sides that you can get on a figure or on a cube when you chop it through it, okay? So, you know, just keep that in mind. You know, we can't get anyone that's bigger than this because we basically can't get this 2D plane to chop through any other sides. We're basically hitting every side here. So just something to remember, this is when you might want to just kind of memorize, is that we could get a hexagon when chopping through a cube. All right, so we can get ourselves a square, we can get ourselves a rectangle, we can get ourselves a triangle by chopping the corner, and then we can go ahead and get ourselves a hexagon, and we also were able to get ourselves a trapezoid, so quadrilaterals we can get as well. So there you go. You're going to kind of play around with this. There's going to be some activities for you to do to practice, but you're basically looking to see what shapes can be formed. Again, most of the ones that you're going to be practicing with are going to be directly horizontal and vertical, okay, as you do them.